Welcome back, friends and family, to another exciting episode of the B2DB show. We're your hosts, Eddie and Josh, and today, is it Christmas, Josh?
Woo! I got my Godzilla Christmas sweater on.
It's a little early for that, man.
Anytime I get to sit down with a friend and talk Kaijus, talk Godzilla, it's like Christmas morning, baby.
Oh, well, we got a present to unwrap for you guys today because here in the dojo, we talking Kaijus, we talking Monsterverse, but bigger than that, should it continue, man? I want to know, is there more?
Hashtag continue the Monsterverse, baby. I'm excited. It's Kaiju time. It's all out destruction. The dojo's gonna get destroyed. We need to run.
But before we do that, man,
Where are we gonna run to?
ooh, you can run all the way back to BackToTheBasics.com.
Hell yeah.
We got all of our episodes, audio versions of our podcasts. Any podcast platform that's out there, you can find BackToTheBasics.com.
I can hear Godzilla in the distance. He's coming for the dojo. He's gonna wreck his friends.
Ooh.
So we need to get this show on the road.
Well, let's get back, man. Let's get nostalgic. Let's get back to the basics.
It's Kaiju time, baby.
Kaijus! Matara! Matara! Ha! Kaiju, kaiju, kaiju.
Are you ready?
All kaiju all day long.
All
I'm ready,
day
man.
long, man. So what was your introduction into the Kaiju
Well,
films?
shit. You just right off the bat.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. So my dad and my brother used to watch all the old school Godzilla. My dad was very much into it. But my personal introduction, what got me into the Godzilla franchise, I'm a '90s kid, man. 1998, Matthew Broderick, Godzilla.
Oh, so you a fan of Zilla?
Ooh, Zilla.
You a Zilla fan?
Give me that T-Rex Zilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my Godzilla movie.
Okay.
When I grew up at the time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, man. But I will still go back and watch that movie, and I'm like, it's not bad to me. But that's what I grew up with. That's all I know, man.
You see,
Until the newer ones.
I'm strongly in a belief there is no bad Kaiju film.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Godzilla might look like a T-Rex, but it's still Godzilla.
It was a fun film, but it was a failed film. But I think
Yeah.
but now it still has a following. People still like the
It always
98
gave me
Zilla.
hope for another one, man.
Well, I'm glad
a sequel.
I'm glad we never got it. So
The egg at the end.
the egg,
Egg is still alive. I want to
Yeah.
see what was gonna happen.
little
They
baby
had-
Zillas.
Yeah.
Maybe they were Mothra's eggs.
Well, yeah. You don't know.
That would have
Because
made a
we
lot
never
more.
got it.
That would have made a lot more sense for them to have Mothra eggs to
Well, maybe.
tease a little team up
Well, maybe, man. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was
instead of
yeah.
Godzilla eggs.
But there were a lot of baby Godzillas in that movie.
So man,
hatched.
Godzilla franchise is one of my favorite two film franchises of all time. James Bond, Godzilla.
And Godzilla. Yeah.
And-
it's very old school. Very, very like back to the basics.
When film was good.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's still good. It's still
to each their own.
it's here and there.
I would rather put on a classic Godzilla film than the new Monsterverse.
Really?
Oh yes, man.
really?
Yes, Kaiju connoisseur.
What?
Oh yeah.
But you're very well like versed in those films.
I mean,
and really very well educated.
I don't have a master's degree or anything like that.
But you got a shit ton of them here behind me.
I'm a fan. You know, I don't know everything. I'm not an encyclopedia, but Kaijus mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Putting on a Godzilla film, I mean, you talk about nostalgia. For me, it's hardcore nostalgia. When I was young, me and my brother, like, we would fall asleep with the TV on.
Oh, of
like, I'm
course.
talking young, where we
Yeah.
can both lay on a couch, like legs to legs. We were so small, we can lay on a couch, and we used to fall asleep in the living room with black and white Godzilla movies.
That's cool.
And so falling asleep, hearing Godzilla's roar, my little eyes batting as I fall asleep, and I see his atomic breath, and I see these larger than life creatures on the screen. It just it connected with me.
Yeah.
And over the years, I didn't watch Godzilla for many years, like in my 20s and stuff like that. I was into other things, but then when the 2014 movie came around,
got you back into it, right?
It got me back into it hardcore. Yeah.
That's what got. I mean, because honestly, I told you I didn't see. I don't think I've ever seen Godzilla 2000. So
crazy.
The '98 one was like Godzilla for me, and then after that, it was like everything else. Star Wars. I watch other stuff, but it wasn't really like Godzilla. I didn't have like this huge following for. And then I went to theaters and I saw the 2014 one, and I was like, it's pretty damn good.
Very good.
I actually really liked it, and for a long time I thought that was it. I didn't know there was gonna be a Monsterverse. I didn't know Kong Skull Island was gonna lead into this new one. I saw Kong Skull Island well after the 2014 Godzilla movie, so I didn't know like
they were all connected.
Yeah, I didn't put all that together until I saw it, and I was like, holy shit, they've been planning this for a minute.
Oh yeah. I mean, even there's a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
With the 2014 film, and I think as of now we have Godzilla 2014, we have King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, and now Godzilla versus King Kong.
King of the Monsters was really good too.
And King of the Monsters is actually rated the lowest out of all of them.
That is crazy.
Because
I thought it was, to me, it's probably my favorite of all four. Kong Skull Island is really good too.
That film's really good.
It's like those two. They're like right there for me.
Besides Samuel L. Jackson.
I knew you were going to fucking say it. See, he wasn't in the 1998 one, but he was in Kong Skull Island. I was like, all you needed for the 98 one to make it like hardcore 90s was Samuel L. Jackson scream, damn, that's a huge bitch. And now he's in Kong Skull Island.
He hated Kong. He wanted to kill Kong for killing his partners.
Yeah, he was ruthless in that movie, man.
But like the 98 film, well, that was an American film.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And Godzilla is from Toho. It's a Japanese film, the film franchise.
Yeah.
And, I don't think it was marketed like something like an American film was, like 98 or 2014. But for a lot of people, for a lot of American audiences, there was a defining moment. It was, we're going to bring Godzilla back to the States with 2014. It's either going to do extremely well and create a whole new film franchise, or it's going to bomb.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like 98. You're only going to get one and done.
You only get one shot, right? You only get one shot.
One opportunity.
Some of these franchises to create something special.
Yeah.
Or you miss the mark. And I guess the 2014 one struck gold because now you have, you're 4 films in, 3 films in, and continuing.
It's $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
Godzilla right now, Legendary's Warner Brothers Monsterverse, $1 billion franchise, and it's not going to stop anytime soon.
I think after this last one, Godzilla vs. Kong, they came out right away and said it's going to continue. There's more.
So we talked about the Snyder, we talked about Warner Brothers, we talked about hashtags and Twitter, and
it's an influenced world.
And so
right
we
now.
have hashtag continue the Monsterverse.
Yeah.
And it was only a few days after that, after Godzilla versus Kong and hashtag continue the Monsterverse, Warner Brothers is like, yeah, we got you, don't worry.
Yeah.
Because they know it sells.
It's crazy though how they came out and said that right away. But then they just like stayed silent about like everything, and also with Mortal Kombat too. They came out right away. Boom, we got 5 films.
Yeah, 5.
They coming. Don't worry about it.
So they say Godzilla versus Kong saved the cinemas, dude.
Through
this whole pandemic.
I think it's really big.
Cinemas.
I think that's really big, especially in this point in time, because now you do have a feature film that's out there that audiences can go and see, and it's something that they've probably grown up with or they've watched their whole lives. It's Godzilla. It's larger than life. So for it to come out during this time and actually get tracking, it wasn't like just some thing. Tom and Jerry, that didn't. I don't know. Did it go to the box office?
Not that I know.
I think it was at the drive-ins. I think it was at the drive-ins, and didn't kind of
Nobody give no shit. I watched that movie. It was whack.
Did you?
Tom and Jerry.
I still haven't got the opportunity.
It was
but,
whatever. It's whatever. It's forgettable.
But for it to come to the theaters and do well, and it save the theaters,
saved cinema.
That's pretty big.
Man, all I want is a Mothra live action.
You kept talking about that.
But here's the thing, man. I'd rather have Toho do it. I'm a bigger fan of the Toho.
So you don't want Legendary to do it?
I mean, they could, but I like the classic Mothra design.
Yeah.
Mothra was cool in King of Monsters, but it's not my favorite design.
So is Mothra dead then?
Mothra always dies. There's always another egg. Mothra is the true protector of Earth. Okay. Besides Gamera. But that's for another episode.
He went there. So we technically could see a Mothra solo film.
I believe so.
Whether it's before or after, because Mothra has been on Earth the whole time, right? At least in this this legendary.
She's always here protecting.
Wherever I go, she's with me.
So, talk a little bit about Godzilla versus King Kong. I don't know if I've ever been as excited for a film.
Okay. You were pretty excited leading up to it,
and I knew I wasn't gonna get like super let down because I mean this Monsterverse is really good.
Yeah.
I mean God's the what is it, what was the last one? King of the Monsters. I'm sorry.
King of the Monsters.
I was thinking Godzilla. I was thinking of a different film.
Ghidorah,
Attack
Mothra.
All Monsters or whatever. So I knew it was gonna be good, but I don't understand what Warner Brothers is doing with the whole Millie Bobby Brown situation.
They Stranger Things that shit, man.
And they've already confirmed she's going to be in the next Godzilla movie.
Really?
So she is like the human character and the human face of their franchise. And I don't understand it because I think anybody that watched Godzilla vs. Kong, we can all agree, like she had her place in
King of the Monsters.
Yeah, she had her place, and I think it was a good story for like the human side.
They were more involved in that story, in that movie, and I think it came across better than in this film.
Godzilla versus King Kong, it's like, why is she in here? Why is she here?
As well as the other characters. You've got the podcast dude who works for, what's the company called?
Monarch?
Yeah, no, not Monarch.
He didn't work for Monarch.
No, he works for the people behind Mechagodzilla.
Oh, I forgot that company's name, but yeah.
But he works for them.
Apex. Yeah.
He works for them, but then he does podcasts on the side, and then he connects with Millie Bobby Brown's character, and then the Spider-Man dude.
No, he's from Deadpool. Deadpool 2.
But I remember you were like, "Is that the kid from Spider-Man?"
I thought it was the kid. I thought it was the kid from Spider-Man.
And it just seemed like a really strange team up.
It was worthless.
And these are your human characters throughout the whole film, right? These are the important ones. And they just seem on this mission.
But they weren't the important ones. The important ones were on the other side of the story. It was the True Blood dude, the chick, and then the little girl. And I got to say, that little girl had better acting than anybody.
The little girl was good. She was good, but I also felt like she was sort of out of place. I feel like every human character in that movie was out of place, man.
So a lot of people, I hear the same criticism from a lot of people.
Yeah.
When it comes to the kaiju films, and kaiju means basically monster.
Monster. Yeah.
And so these monster films, we don't want to see human characters. All we want to see is the fights, and it's like, well, we have to have a reason for them to fight, right?
I want to see good human characters.
Yeah.
Reasons why they're there, meaning behind it, because the whole them sneaking into the secret lab and then stopping Mechagodzilla with soda poured over the keyboard.
It was
come on, man.
It was liquor, and then rewatching it though, there is a little bit of understanding behind that scene. So his wife, the podcaster guy, his wife passed away, and his wife
missed that.
You got to really pay attention.
Yeah.
And his wife gave him that flask.
Okay.
And he says something like, the day this flask is empty, like, I'm never drinking again.
Oh.
And so you fast forward to the kid takes the flask
And empties
dumps it on that little control panel, and so it's kind of a way, like, I guess, kind of like the idea of his wife that's passed was like gave him something that stopped Mechagodzilla, and it's there, but you got to really pay attention.
Yeah.
And I think another thing that really threw this whole movie off was WB just
I was gonna
cutting
say,
the shit out of it.
Seems like there's a longer cut out there somewhere.
So the director did talk. There was an interview, and they were talking about a director's cut. Obviously, this is right off the cusp of Zack Snyder. Literally, it was the next film, right?
Studio interfering with a movie? That's unheard of.
The director said that there is 5 hours of footage.
So we got a 5-hour Zack Snyder-ish movie of Godzilla versus Kong?
Well, he said that he has no reason to do a director's cut, but he said later down the road in his career, if he's approached to put out his director's cut of Godzilla versus Kong, he might do it if there's a want for it. But he says just because they have 5 hours of footage filmed, that doesn't mean that his director's cut would be 5 hours long.
No, it'd probably be like 3.
Probably.
Or something, right?
Yeah.
Because this one is under 2, I think.
It definitely lacks composition.
What is with WB wanting films to be like an hour and 45 minutes? I know films back in like the 90s and when I grew up, they were like, okay, yeah, an hour and a half. A film is good. 2 hours.
I remember when a 2-hour film was like, whoa, dude, what are we doing here? This is super long.
Yeah. But nowadays, we watch TV shows for longer than an hour and a
We
half.
binge watch 11 episodes in one day.
Come on, give it to me. Give
Yeah.
me 3 hours. I would have loved to seen 3 hours of composition and Godzilla versus Kong, meaning behind it. And I know you told me that there's these 2 books or 2 comic companions
Yes.
that come with this movie that tell a little bit of the backstory, reasons why Godzilla's pissed, reason why Kong wants out of his dome.
So
It feels like a lot got skipped over.
There's 2 prequels.
Yeah.
One from Godzilla's perspective, telling him how he got to that point. One from Kong's perspective, and so it gives you that composition.
Uh-huh.
And mine's still coming in the mail, but I can't wait to read that. And it talks about an ancient war between the 2 species. So there is the lore behind it, but for the average viewer that got on HBO and watched it, they're like, this is shit.
Well, because you have Kong Skull Island, it ends and he's like king of Skull Island, and then you fast forward to this film and he's trapped in a dome. And like, okay, yeah, you can probably put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, well, the humans came and took him, right?
I just felt it.
But it just felt out of place. I was like, what are we missing here?
A lot.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting how
to start it there. They should have gave some backstory.
How Godzilla versus Kong shows you a depiction of a dome structure and the hollow Earth. So they're
in Alaska,
and they go to Antarctica,
right?
Because that's how they go into the. So there's a lot of conspiracy involved. Oh, your tinfoil hat. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are involved in this, and I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you're talking about these mythological titans, they call them in the Monsterverse. They don't, they call them titans.
So Hollow Earth, how I got another whole ass sun and sky and like moon and firmament in there. What's that about?
For the critics that say, "Oh, what this don't make sense. Well, what's the light source in the Hollow Earth?" Or "Oh, the Hollow Earth is stupid." Or "Oh, this is stupid." Oh, you're talking about a giant monkey and a giant lizard fighting in a neon Tokyo. So it's like when you were watching Power Rangers and you saw this pizza villain that are like, I'll throw pepperonis at the. It's like these ridiculous things. It's like bro, you don't need all this crazy composition and lore to experience an entertaining fight.
But we older now, man. We want composition and lore.
I guess. Well, it's there for those that seek it.
Yeah.
But
ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it is out there for those that seek
you
it.
shall find.
But for the what we got, is cut up, and Warner Brothers is doing this, and I don't know why they're doing this, but they're making a shit ton of money off of it, and they're continuing it. So no, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. The best parts of that movie, fortunately, are all the action scenes, all the fight scenes. There are really good visuals in that film.
30 minutes straight action at the end of Godzilla vs. Kong. The cinematography is top notch.
It's the B2DB cut, man.
Oh, it's there, man. We're going to release it one day. The B2DB cut of Godzilla vs. Kong is basically, I'm cutting out all the human characters.
All action, no breaks, no
Let's go,
all
baby.
meat and potatoes, no baloney, no bullshit.
The final 30 minutes of the film, we went and we watched at the drive-in. I've watched it many, many times.
It was really cool.
But the drive-in was fun. I had a great
It
time.
was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
It was tight.
And we love to go see these movies at the drive-in.
Yeah, that's one big thing during this whole thing is we said, fuck the theaters because they ain't even open. So we went to the drive-in to see all these things. And we're going to go see Mortal Kombat, man.
Yep.
At the drive-in. Yeah, so that's going to be cool. But the one thing about this movie that I definitely did notice, because it's what I always notice, is there's only like, one catchy song that actually feels like it goes with the film. And it's that one 80s synth wave.
There's a synth song for like 30 seconds. It's when Millie Bobby Brown and her friend get in the van and drive away.
Part.
And it's just like hella 80s synth. Just
and then it ends and you never hear anything like that again for the rest of the movie. And
I felt like they should have like capitalized on that.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole last 30 minutes is neon. Everything's neon.
Neon. You've got all these 80s pops and references and you just...
And throughout the film, there's a lot of color.
Yeah.
When they show the apex where the guy's in control of Mechagodzilla, everything's pink.
Yeah.
When the podcast dude's talking with Millie Bobby Brown in that bar, everything's pink, blue, and then at the end of the movie, all the blues and pinks, neons everywhere.
The neon.
The visuals of this movie is very stunning. Yeah. They did an amazing job, and I think the film, on all counts, is an amazing film. It just feels like you said, there's so much left on the cutting room floor.
Definitely feels like it got rushed. How about my boy Godzilla kicking Kong's ass, though?
I thought Kong was going to be the victor.
He straight up killed him. If it wasn't for that human character, we going to talk about how the human characters just saved Kong the whole movie? God dang. Friggin' human characters?
So
they hate Godzilla. What's up with that?
King of the Monsters, Godzilla basically dies, right? And the human character has to launch like a nuke right in his face to reinvigorate him.
Okay.
In this movie, it's opposite. So Kong basically has a heart attack and dies, and they have to like defib his chest with that explosion.
Yeah.
Super G. And it's kind of the same, but dude,
so they're just reusing storylines.
It's WB, bro. How many scripts you think they got?
Martha. There was a scene like that.
But to finally bring Godzilla vs. Kong 60 years later, I believe, onto the big screen, it made a shit ton of money globally, domestically, and it's continuing because they said this is it.
Yeah.
This was going to be Legendary's final Monsterverse movie. They said if this one doesn't meet our expectations, we're ending it, and because it's basically Toho's allowing them to do it. So it met expectations.
Yeah, I think you were talking about how when it came out, it surpassed in the box office ratings and the HBO Max viewership, and so they're gonna give us more.
Yes,
hopefully. I would like to see it continue. Me personally, I did hella dig Mechagodzilla. That was fucking dope. I thought the really cool thing was King Ghidorah's brainwaves and mind being behind Mechagodzilla. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
That was tight.
So at the very end, the final scene on King of Monsters, you could see basically they bought one of his heads.
Yeah, they had a skull.
And so that skull is used to like enhance the power
It's
of the human
telepathic.
character
Yeah.
telepathically controlling Godzilla. You find out, you know, something else takes over Mechagodzilla. And so it's really cool, and to see, and we said it from the very beginning, this movie was going to be Batman v Superman.
Straight up.
They fight each other until
Yep.
a bigger threat emerges, and they fight together to save the day.
You gotta beat Doomsday somehow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All in good taste, though.
yeah, it was really good. You have that scene of Mechagodzilla and Godzilla with their breaths, their heat visions, basically just
Atomic breath.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually from the old school Mechagodzilla movies. Every time they fight, anytime they meet each other, Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, I call it like a Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
The energy beams, bam, hitting each other. A lot of scenes paid a lot of homage to the original Godzilla versus Kong.
The one thing I will say, I am sad that I did not see, because we saw a lot of good visuals. Slam dunk into Godzilla's beam with the axe and everything. I didn't see my Godzilla drop kick, man. I didn't see my Godzilla drop kick with the tail sliding on the floor. I wanted to see that.
Hey, man. Or him dancing. It's all good. It's good, you know. And Toho had Shin Godzilla. Have you seen Shin Godzilla?
No, I have not.
Very interesting film. Very this really good take on Godzilla.
Okay.
Godzilla is back at being the bad guy, right?
Oh, nice.
Some people don't like Godzilla being bad. Some
Oh, I
people
love it.
want him
Yeah.
to be the good guy, but it's like the original film right here playing behind me. Godzilla is the enemy. He is the threat.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that he won't take out a bigger threat,
So that
which
he
results in saving.
Seems like he's the,
Yes.
the good guy.
So out of this Monsterverse that we have of Legendary and Warner Brothers, what's your favorite kaiju?
I would definitely say, of course, it's Godzilla. Mothra is cool. I do like King Ghidorah. But if I'm gonna get like any more films, definitely want them to be Godzilla films. I know you said you want a Mothra film.
Well, they're all set in the universe, the Monsterverse.
Yeah. To see like a King Ghidorah film would be pretty interesting, because you only see him in King of the Monsters for that like fight there at the end, and you really don't get like backstory or depth to it. He just shows up, and then
They do mention that he is from space.
Yeah,
which is
but
cool.
I want to see it elaborated. I want
Yeah.
to see more.
There's a lot. There's a lot of kaijus out there.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to touch on is there was a lot of talks way back in the day of Pacific Rim and a Godzilla crossover, and now in Pacific Rim 2,
that'd be interesting, man.
there is Toho kaijus mentioned in Pacific Rim. So actual Godzilla Toho kaijus that are part of the Godzilla universe are in Pacific Rim, and Gamera is one of them, which Gamera isn't Toho. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Is there going to be a crossover? Gypsy Danger and Godzilla?
I know you would love to see
That would be
some
amazing.
crossovers. Maybe we'll get it, man. Maybe we'll get, especially with the continue of the Monsterverse. The sky's the limit. I think you said there's something like, how many monsters, kaijus out there? I think it was like thousands.
There's not thousands, but
on
there's
Earth
a lot
right now, because they keep finding more and more every movie. That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Especially in the King of the Monsters, they were using the sonar to find.
And they're showing you all these different ones. And it was intriguing for them. Everyone wanted like classic kaijus from the past to make a resurgence, but
I remember
the director wanted to create new ones. You know, he wanted to add his own, and
that would be interesting.
That's cool, but let's stick to some.
But we
of
haven't
the
seen
classics.
any though. We haven't seen any like new introductions of like new ones that he might have created. So.
Yeah, there was the mammoth. There was all kinds of them.
Oh, yeah.
The big spider thing.
Yeah, I've seen the mammoth. The spider one was kind of whack though.
There's all different ones. And even in this movie, they had the little dragons with like the wings Kong was fighting.
Those are whack, man.
They're
look...
kaijus.
Yeah, I guess so.
Doug? You probably don't know who Doug is, huh?
I do. I do actually.
That lizard creature that came out of the...
I saw it. You even told me, I think when we were watching it the first time.
His name's Doug!
Yeah, we were watching it the first time and you were like, oh, there it is. But I guess there are a lot more in the Hollow Earth, right?
The Hollow Earth, and I cannot wait for one to read the precursors of this story and to learn about the ancient war between Godzilla and the King Kong. And that's amazing. Continue the Monsterverse. Keep kaijus alive. Let's get a Pacific Rim Monsterverse crossover, and let's keep kaijus on the big screen.
Hashtag bring back Matthew Broderick. Woo, man, I am tired from all that running from Godzilla, man.
Hey, man, don't run from Godzilla. Embrace Godzilla.
That's true, but Josh, watching that movie and during that discussion, I don't know, man. It seems like there's supposed to be like a B2DB cut of that film.
Might be out there. It might be out there.
There's got to be more, man. Monsterverse?
There's always more kaiju. Like I say, and many in this community say, a bad kaiju movie. It don't exist.
It don't exist.
It don't exist.
Is Mothra dead, man?
Mothra's never dead. Mothra will always live in our heart.
No, King Ghidorah, he ate the bones.
I'm excited. There's always another egg out there, okay? I'm excited for the future of the Monsterverse. I'm excited for the future of Toho kaiju films. I'm just excited, dude.
The future is bright, especially for our boy Zilla.
Release the 98 cut. Release the 98 cut.
Matthew Broderick, where you at? Come back. We need you.
But man, I'm excited. We got Son of Kong.
Ooh.
Son of Kong might
Is
be
it coming?
It might be the next one.
Is that a thing?
But I'm hoping for a live action solo Mothra film, man.
Yeah, that would be really cool, man. I would love to see that. Wouldn't you love to see that?
I am it.
Till next time, everybody. Catch us on our YouTube channel or backtothebasics.com. We enjoyed having you, your time, your energy. As Josh always says, stay nostalgic
on that eternal quest
to get back to the basics.